You're not coming up. Well, I'll leave you some up here. But you've left me some finds down by the stream. Well, they're up picking the bits. Well, down at the other little stream, and see if there's out in it this time. I don't know whether there is or not, but I'll bring you back if I do find out. Well, remember a milk, either a mixing bowl or a milk cooling bowl. Well, nothing up there apart from that one bit of rim of a bowl and a bit of a barrel rim there, bit looks of it. We'll see what's down in this bit. I don't hold up much hope. Nope. Is there out on the other side? Nope, just plain. Well, that one bit of plain, and that was it on there. Just see if there's out down here, then I'll go around to one just round at bend, see if there's out there. If not, I'll go further upstream. Well, again, just a couple of bits of plain, and the only decent bit of panchon milk cooling bowl there, with black glaze. Well, I spotted a bit on the pathway, early RP, but that'll get left. Well, down on the other spot, and I don't hold up much hope for this as well. I think this might be, unless I find something further up upstream, it's going to be a very, very short video. Probably added to a few more short ones like this. Well, tiny bit here. Well, it's got something on it. At least we've got one piece for today. And see if there's out on there. Oh, and another plain piece. Well, there's that one tiny little piece on there, but since our last down we haven't had that much rain, so it needs a good session of rain to flood this lot out and tumble everything around and probably wash some of the slime out of that water. Well, back further upstream, and let's see if we can find anything down here this time. Well, first bit, just a bit of storage pot or something. Oh. Well, I can see something with a rim on there, but is it out on the other side? No, just plain. Well, nothing much yet. Well, final bit I'm going to have a look on here today, and if I don't find out I'll be walking back past Ribble, so I'll go and feed the quackers down there if there's any, and see if anything's been disturbed on all the stones. So let's go and have a look on here. I'll bring you back if I do find out. Oh, got something on or not? Just staining, that's in, a little bit with embossing. Well, I did wonder if I'd go to find some today. malt floor tiling. Get those stones out of it. Well, at least we've got one big chunk. Oh, well, we'll take that bit. I'm going to break my back taking it home, but needs must. Good job I brought a good bag. Well, a bit of something there with a stripe on. I'm going to leave that. Well, I spotted a bit there, just that's probably a bit of tile. Spotted that. And I thought I recognised it. Rubber. They're building blocks. Bit like a Lego, but done with rubber. And I remember we had some of these as kids in the 60s. They had white rubber lintels and I think green roof, or were they grey? Can't remember. They were like a rubber sheet that just folded down over it. But you have various sized bricks and shapes. But I've not seen any of them for donkey's years now. Yep. A couple of bits of panchon bowls. Yep. Apart from that big chunk of malt floor tiling and that rubber building brick, next to nothing. Oh well, I'll see if I can find out down river when I walk back home.
I don't want to disturb them.
Oh, he's gone.
I'm not seeing the ducklings today. Oh, I'm not seeing this morning.
Well, I thought I'd have a look down here, and a bit of willow edging, and there's always some willow. Oh well, I've not gone far and turned another piece over. I'm sure that's got something on. We'll see what it's like when it's cleaned up. I'm just bending down to pick my trowel up. A crinoid. And another crinoid. Well, I spotted a bit of white and turned it over. A bit of a pattern on the other side. Yeah, that's top of a pagoda. That's willow. And there's always some willow. And there's a few quackers there. Well, I suppose you lot feeding. Have you been scrapping? It looks like it. Well, another piece I turned over without filming. Oh, that's pretty pattern on that. Probably bits got turned over with everybody coming down here with fine weather, which is good. Oh, that's the quackers happily feeding away. Oh, another piece that might have some at all. No, I'm just playing. Now, spotted that. It's got a bit of bark on. Oh well. And a little bit with some marks on, faint. Well, we'll see if that comes brighter when we clean it up. There's a note on that. No. And a bit late RP with wider grooves. No. WP Hartley's marmalade. And a bit of the lighthouse there. Like a mixing bowl. And another bit of Hartley's. And a bit more of the lighthouse on. Oh, spotted something, a bit of blue on. Oh. Oh, see what's on here. Bit of a jam pot, I should think. Plain one, nothing on bottom. Well, I just flicked a little bit over thinking it would be plain, and I weren't filming. You know what that means? There's always something on the other side. A little bit of a pattern. Well, there's that big bit of stoneware that was knocking about the other week. We haven't had that much rain, so it's not washed it away yet. No. Early RP. Oh well. No, a big chunk of flat. And nothing on the other side. Now there's a bit there, and it looks to have a fade pattern on. Let's wet it. Oh well, that we're just staying in, says me carrying it home. Well, just a few tiny little bits on there. I didn't expect to find much. We need a good flood again. Wash up bits and disturb them and tumble them all about. Oh, we'll let them few bits fizz away. A lot of them are coming cleaner already. There's me big chunk of malt floor tiling. That's definitely doing some fizzing away. Right, the few finds from a trip down to the stream and the river. Now we'll start with bits in Little Stream. Yeah, just a tiny little bit. We'll never know what that pattern is. I'll come back to them in a minute. And the bits from the river and such like. Oh, I think they're all from, well, I thought they were from stream, but they're not. A bit of willow. And there's always some willow. And I don't know whether that's some pillars there, but too worn and faded to be made out. And a couple of little crinoids. What's nice finding these. And a couple of other bits. And that you can just make out the roof at Pagoda. So there's always some willow and a bit, I don't know if it's transfer or handprint painted, probably transfer. And that, it's a pity there's not more of it, because that would have made a nice design, whatever it was. And bits of bluey flowers. Don't think it's Asiatic, they're like ivy leaves, and they tend not to be on Asiatic. And again, very worn and faded. And a couple of bits of the bases of Hartley's jam jars with the lighthouse on there, a bit more of it on there. Oh, it's nice. I like to find the full ones, and then I can make fridge magnets out of the bases. And something with blue on. And some nice pattern if I had more of it. Very thick. Probably a big mug. And finally, let's get all these bits off. Oh, not finally. That. It's rubber. And as a kid, we had some building blocks made out of this, like this. And I thought they were either 50s or 60s. It turns out they're actually, I think, 30s. So they may have been my uncle's when he were a young lad, and we got them. But I never saw anybody else that had them. I'll stick a couple of photos up now of some of the sets I found on the internet. But yeah, as soon as I saw that, that brought back some memories of playing with these as a kid in the 60s. Right, this big lump, most people would call it an air brick. I call it malt floor tiling. And it's quite a late one, late 1800s. But I always seem to find them down there, and I still haven't found where they're coming out of. So one day, but we haven't so few bits that I could do crafting with. I've picked this bit. I've already worked it, but this is going to end up set in resin. I'll just cut it down to size. Shaped it down to size. I might put other little bits in, but yeah, a bit of Asiatic. It's a nice piece, very spoiled off. I've got to flat it down at later date just to make it a little bit thinner for the mould. But let's see how we shaped this up. Oh, on this, another day I might just trim it down there. Clean up this edge just so it's all them 12 little holes, and make a nice little planter for some air plants, which I've got to get round to one day getting some. Now there's this bit, there's a lot of stain in there, so I might just cut it down, but it's a spoiled off piece, so it's very, very thin. So I might just shape this and it might all end up encased in resin just to strengthen it, but I'll get it down to shape first. Well, that's got most of it out, and like I say, this and a few others are going to be ongoing projects. Battery's running out. Well, it's goodbye from me and the ducks down the river.